Hey everyone, back for week 2 in this year to talk about a lot of books here. So the first one is that I finished Return of the King. It's so great to be done with this. Been working on it all last year, all the Hobbit and the whole Lord of the Rings series. So I finished Return of the King. I loved it so much. It was just the most amazing, perfect ending. I have a review of it on my Instagram. So I just had one or two thoughts. I was scared of the Scouring of the Shire. I wasn't remembering what happened in the Scouring of the Shire, but it was heartbreaking and beautiful and satisfying for the four hobbits to kind of clean everything up. So I really, really liked it. The thing that I was wondering is if the ruining of the Shire while they're on their adventures, if Tolkien maybe had something similar in his life, because he was in one of the world wars. I think World War I, as far as I remember. I was wondering if maybe that was from his life. I have no idea, so no answers there, but I was just thinking about it. Maybe something was ruined while he was away, or when he came home he was hurt by it, so maybe that's why he put that in this book. But I really, really liked it a lot. Haven't done the appendices, probably not going to do those for a bit. There's a lot. It's like this much, so I'm going to read that some other time. That's not part of the overall story, it's extra stories, so finish that. The next is Emma. So I don't have a ton more in Emma. I got through a bit. I'm almost done with the third part, or the second part, sorry. Second part out of 3. And not a ton more to say. I'm really enjoying it a lot. She's got a love interest, but she doesn't want to get married, so she's kind of fighting herself over it. And we don't know if there's something going on with the love interest, because he has this awful aunt, and we don't really know why the love interest left and everything, because I don't think the aunt was actually sick. I think the aunt just didn't want him there. So we'll see what happens. I'm really enjoying it. It's so long though. I feel like this story could have been shorter, to be honest. For Jane Austen, her 2 that she's most famous for, Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility, I've read those, and there isn't a ton extra in those books. Like, they're very parsed down to what's necessary, and if she takes a long time on something, it's because it's really important. But sometimes in Emma, she takes a long time with stuff that's not that important. At least I don't know. I guess I haven't finished, so maybe it's important. But it just feels a touch too long to me. But I am still really enjoying it. That's just my thoughts there. Next one, I finally got my actual physical copy of Dragonflight. So this is the first 3. That's why it's so ginormous, because it's the first 3 in this series. I believe the series is super duper long, but apparently these 3 go well together. So I have not gotten very far. You can see I just got like 30 pages in. So we're going pretty slow with this. The first book of this actually doesn't have chapters, which was super interesting to me, but it's super short and it only has 4 parts, so we're just doing a part every week, every other week, basically. So we have 2 weeks for each part, so it's not bad at all. We're going to be done in a month. But yeah, it's really, really interesting. I love the world building. She doesn't just hand you stuff. She kind of leaves you wondering, and then you have to figure it out, basically, for yourself. So I really, really, really like this book. And I wanted to show you my bookmark in this one, actually, because I just got it. My friend Kelly does these, so this is a painting that she did, and she made it into a little bookmark. So I really, really like that one. And I also got this one of hers. So thank you, Kelly. Those were beautiful. So I got those this week too, those bookmarks. So yeah, really enjoying this one. This is the one that I'm doing with my mom, and she's read them before, but it was like forever ago, so she doesn't really remember. So yeah, that's Dragons of Pern. And then finally I started A Crown of Swords. So this is number 7 in the Wheel of Time series. So happy to be back. I missed it. I missed Wheel of Time, but that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to take enough of a break that I actually missed it. And I did. I missed Wheel of Time a lot. So this is A Crown of Swords. I got about 80 pages in here. Which is it's just the prologue and the first 2 chapters. So the prologue was pretty long, but not as long as last time. Last time it was like 100 pages was just the prologue. But this time it was just 40, and it was really, really good. He jumps around to different perspectives and gives you little tastes, little tiny informations that just intrigue you and catch you, and you want to know more, but then as soon as you want to know more, he jumps to someone else. And it's really annoying, but wonderful. And then we start in Perrin's perspective. I adore Perrin. Some people get annoyed by him. I adore him. He doesn't know what everyone else knows. He hasn't really been told things, but he has this, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail for spoilers, but he basically has wolf abilities, so he has a sense of smell, and he can smell emotion. And I love reading his perspectives because he can smell emotion. So he is just smelling how everyone is feeling, and he doesn't understand it because he doesn't have a lot of information, but we as readers have a lot of information. So we understand why they're feeling these ways, but he doesn't, and it makes it really interesting the way he writes it. The way he writes Perrin, I just adore it so much. So he's talking to a friend, and he gets really confused about his emotions, and it's because that friend has a voice in his head and he doesn't know it. And it's so fun because us as the reader, we know that he has a voice in his head, so that's why he has really confusing emotions, because sometimes it's the other voice in his head and everything. So it's really, really fun. I'm enjoying it so much. And this is just a little bit in the book, and I'm just adoring it. I'm really, really excited. Just a recommendation, if you ever want to read The Wheel of Time, highly recommend the Wheel Weaves podcast. That's what I'm doing with all my Wheel of Time reading, is the Wheel Weaves podcast. It's basically the husband has read them before many times, and then the wife has never read them. So the wife is summarizing and doing her predictions, and the husband is kind of cheekily trying to lead her astray and clarifying things that he can clarify and that kind of thing. So it's really, really helpful with books this size, and there's 15 of them. 14 in a novella. It's really, really helpful to have a guide. So he's my guide, and she's my partner in crime. So I've really, really enjoyed listening to that. Highly recommend if you ever want to get into the Wheel of Time. It just makes it fun and entertaining. So as soon as I read, as far as that podcast, then I pop the podcast on going to work, and listen to them joke and clarify, and it's just the best. So really enjoying this. Hopefully get through it, because I want to do 4 of these this year. I need to get through this by the end of March. So I think I can do it because I'm already flying through it. This was just like a day, and I did 80 pages, and I really, in no time at all. I just love it so much. So yeah, that was my week. I hope you all had a great week. You can comment on what you've been reading. That'd be great. And I will see you next week. Bye.